What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here. So I am joined here by Juan, aka Ghost to You, and I'm also joined by Oscar, obviously from Greatness Debates. We just live streamed the Sony press conference at Paris Games Week 2015, and although we knew that Uncharted 4 was going to get, some kind of new demo, we didn't exactly know what, if it was going to be single player or multiplayer. Well, turns out we got a multiplayer trailer. Obviously we already do know that the beta is going to be starting on December 4th, so that's going to be very soon, in about 1.5 months from now, I guess. But yeah, the trailer was pretty exciting, I guess. I liked it a lot, to be honest, but I of course want to start off with you. What did you think about it? Oscar, go ahead.
Yeah, so straight away what I noticed a couple of times was, actually no, firstly it's in 60 frames, so I don't know if that confirms for sure it's in 60 frames
I would
for the
assume
gameplay,
so. I would assume so.
But the trailer on YouTube is in 60 frames,
yes.
So the good thing is, of course, we've got that kind of assured, I suppose. Secondly, obviously, is the kind of the array of characters is one of the things I noticed as well, and also the graphics as well. That's another thing I wanted to mention, because it definitely looks a little bit more cartoony as usual.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think the camera angles and that sort of stuff, obviously it was made to be very cinematic and that sort of stuff. I don't imagine, of course, most of that will be how it actually looks when you're playing.
You can probably very much compare it to what we saw of the single player gameplay, right?
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to play.
Yeah. But other than that, again, the characters, we saw Cutter in there, we saw Marla in there, we saw Eddie Rajar in there, we saw Harry Flynn in there.
Didn't see Tenzin.
Didn't see Tenzin,
and
but
Talbot,
no one cares about
like
Tenzin.
Talbot, come on, everybody.
Where's Talbot?
Where's the best villain in the Uncharted series?
But yeah, it's good to see that they've got all those characters there. I assume either they'll all be DLC or they'll either be.
Nah, they're going to be in there. They're not going to be DLC. Come on, what the hell? That would be microtransactions immediately. Yeah.
You know that they knew that they'd do that. They did that our whole time, all the way through Uncharted 3.
True, but not at launch, right? Did they? I don't think they did. I think it was like added later.
Harry Flynn was a DLC, wasn't he?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. We're going off topic.
Yeah, we're going to topic. Of course. But yeah, Ghost, have a go with what you're
typical of every GD video, goes off topic immediately. But yeah, I mean, all in all, I would have liked to see an actual gameplay demo as opposed to some sort of cinematic trailer, but I guess we'll see much more Uncharted for the multiplayer gameplay when the beta comes out, of course. So that was mainly like made to make people hyped about the beta and probably make more people buy the Nathan Drake collection. So from that point of view, it was probably unrealistic to hope for actual gameplay. But as far as the trailer is concerned, yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, the way they composed it made it look pretty action-packed. The first thing I thought about after seeing the trailer was how fast-paced it was, which was something that I think was very different between the Uncharted 2 and 3 multiplayer, because of course the 3 multiplayer was much more fast-paced than the 2 multiplayer. Probably some comparisons there with trying to make it more mainstream, some sort of more like Call of Duty, that sort of thing, to make it more appealing to a wider audience. And I think they've continued with that, with this, from what we can tell from this trailer at least. But I'm sure if you pause the trailer at very certain times, you can find out a lot more things about it, and I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to go on next, is it not?
And I would also assume that, even though we've not seen gameplay here, we're going to see it in the next couple of days, because people are going to be playing it there at Paris Games Week, and that's exactly how it happened with Uncharted 3, when it had the multiplayer reveal. It was that Skrillex trailer, but then afterwards there was actual gameplay up as well, before the beta had actually come out. It was right at that reveal event as well, so I would assume we're going to get gameplay, but I liked it a lot. Obviously, I was kind of wondering, is this going to be more like Uncharted 2 multiplayer, more like Uncharted 3 multiplayer? Well, I was kind of sure it was going to be building on what Uncharted 3 did, and it looks to completely have done that. There is one slight problem with that, and that's that I'm very, very afraid that the game is going to be imbalanced, or going to have some things that are simply not gonna, just be very balanced, because that's what Uncharted 3 was. It needed like 10 patches or so to fix it in the end, and even then there's still people complaining about stuff like power plays and that kind of stuff. And we saw that here too, right? You have the mysticals apparently, which we saw by Elena using those sort of Jinn powers from Uncharted 3 that she had to like teleport through the map and stuff. I don't really know if that's going to be, super balanced or something. And there's also sidekicks, which means that you can, for example, spawn an NPC, as they said it. So I just don't know what to think about that. What do you think?
Well, that was probably my main concern, the sidekicks, when they announced that. I didn't really know what they meant by it when they announced it, but then they showed it in the trailer, and like someone was shooting at them, and then they suddenly just spawn a sidekick. I can just imagine that now not being a good thing. That's like,
why would you want that in a game? I don't get that. How is that game?
It's like in Uncharted 3 when you're about to kill someone, you're just like owning them, like all ends up. Then they activate their kickback, which is like quick boom or something, and they kill you immediately. It was like that feeling of utter hatred for the game when that happened. absolutely despise things like that in Uncharted 3, and I imagine this will be similar, because the only reason you'd use this is if you're losing a gunfight, for example. I can't imagine if you're going around owning everyone, you think, oh, what do I need now? Well, I need an NPC playing next to me. I don't think there would be a point in that. So I think this would be mainly for the noobs, in effect. And I can imagine people like Broken Games will be like just as angry about this as
snapping their Uncharted 3 disc again a couple months later.
Not being able to too. Just like tries to snap it, it doesn't snap.
I understand that though. That's super understandable, because Uncharted 3 had those flaws for sure, and you would imagine that. It kind of baffles me honestly with how unbalanced Uncharted 3 was. I don't understand that they still want to introduce all these things, and obviously we shouldn't judge because we don't know if it's balanced or not. But you know, immediately upon seeing that, you just kind of get those fears. You just think, is the same thing going to happen here with Uncharted 4 multiplayer? But obviously we're going to see with the beta though. So yeah, I think, well, actually what I also liked was stuff like the zip lines and the sliding, and you mentioned the grappling hook before, Ghost. Which, you know, we'll see what will happen if people are, for example, having a bad internet connection, if that's going to work out well or something. But that's all to be seen. Any final thoughts?
I just wanted to quickly mention the idea that the what they call the mysticals. Like, I don't know if they're going to replace the kickbacks or not, but my assumption is that they might do, because like they had like the Treasure of El Dorado thing. Elena had the gin thing. It seems very similar to what, like, you know, like creepy crawler, smoke bomb, all that kind of stuff. So I have a feeling that will probably replace kickbacks, but we'll have to wait and see. I think.
Yeah, that's probably just going to unlock after a certain kill streak or something like that. Right?
And I would imagine a few more minor things, very minor things. At one point we saw there was a health pack sort of system going on when Elena throws a health pack to I think it was Drake or something. So that seems to be interesting. I'm not sure again with the balancing of that, but and then there was a landmine also at one point, which would be some sort of addition. Again, I'm not sure whether that's a positive or negative addition. I imagine it's pretty cool to have, like, tactically, but yeah, a load of minor things which I imagine we'll be talking about in future videos. But
yeah, totally. So yeah, let us know, of course, what you thought about the Uncharted 4 multiplayer trailer, if you liked it or not, if you're afraid like us about those little things that they did, that they also did with Uncharted 3 and trying to step it up, you know, one more time. But yeah, of course, you know, we're gonna find out more, hopefully with some gameplay in the next couple of days, and otherwise with the beta coming out December 4th, so if you've got the Nathan Drake collection, you can play it. But for now, yeah, as I said, thanks a lot for watching, and of course, go subscribe to Greatness Debates for more videos with these guys, and then also Ghost to you, by the way. I keep forgetting that one, but that's a personal channel, therefore. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you again next time.